Riley Keough spent 36 years hiding a secret that could have destroyed her career before it started. At 15, she was arrested and called her mom from jail. The story never made the news. Her mugshot vanished. But that was just the beginning. She lived with Michael Jackson at Neverland Ranch for years, watched her mother keep her dead brother's body on ice for 2 months, and fought her own grandmother in court over Elvis's $100 million empire. Now she's finally ready to tell the truth about what really happened behind closed doors. Riley Keough was born on May 29, 1989, in Santa Monica Hospital. From the moment she entered the world, chaos followed. Over 200 paparazzi camped outside for 3 full days. Her birth weight, just 7 pounds and 2 ounces, made headlines in 47 countries before she could even open her eyes. Lisa Marie Presley was only 21. She started receiving death threats from obsessed Elvis fans who believed Riley's birth had somehow ruined the Presley bloodline. The hospital had to spend $50,000 every single day on extra security. They used fake ambulances and false records just to keep Riley safe. Her first photo sold to People magazine for $300,000. That would be over $700,000 today. She was given a $100 million trust from Elvis's estate, but couldn't touch a cent of it until she turned 25. Even as a newborn, money caused tension in the family. When Riley turned 6 years and 3 months old in August 1994, her parents' marriage fell apart. The divorce dragged on for 18 months and cost them $2.3 million in legal bills. Her father, Danny Keough, was battling drug addiction. He failed 7 court-ordered tests and lost custody. Riley had to move back and forth every 10 days between her mother's $5 million mansion in Calabasas and her dad's tiny $180,000 bungalow in Hawaii. It was a huge emotional shift. Court documents said Riley had to watch 12 loud and violent fights, including one where Lisa Marie threw a $15,000 guitar that nearly hit her. Therapy became mandatory. She had to go twice a week for 2 full years. Her drawings during those sessions showed broken families and sad princesses. By age 11, Riley still couldn't fall asleep alone. Between ages 5 and 7, Riley spent nearly 130 days each year at Neverland Ranch. It was a 2,700-acre dreamland with a private amusement park, a zoo, and a castle-like bedroom built just for her that cost $200,000. She called Michael Jackson Daddy Michael and thought it was all magic. But behind the magic, disturbing things were happening. In 1993, just before she started visiting, Jackson had paid $23 million to settle a molestation accusation. Riley didn't know about that. She only remembered the strange sleepovers, where random kids arrived at midnight in helicopters and she'd be sent straight to her room. When new charges came up in 2003, Lisa Marie destroyed every photo of Riley at Neverland. She hired security to erase any proof her daughter had ever lived there. From age 8 to 12, Riley became her mother's caretaker. Lisa Marie was addicted to painkillers, sleeping pills, and alcohol, taking up to 80 milliliters of OxyContin every day. Riley had to call 911 4 times after finding her mom passed out on the floor. She learned to hide the car keys and flush pills down the toilet. Dr. Sandeep Kapoor, Lisa Marie's supplier, would show up 3 times a week and charge $500 each visit. Riley was the one who bought groceries and made meals. One morning in 2001, Lisa Marie tried to drive her to school while high and crashed into a parking meter, causing $8,000 in damage. Security guards had to pull Riley out of the car. She spent 6 hours in the principal's office before her dad came to get her. CPS opened an investigation, but closed it when Lisa Marie checked into a Malibu rehab that charged $75,000 a month. In 2002, when Riley was 13, Her mother married Nicolas Cage in Hawaii. The wedding cost $50,000 and had just 12 guests. The marriage lasted only 107 days. Cage bought Riley a $25,000 horse and a $15,000 leather jacket. But what she remembered most were the 23 screaming arguments between him and her mom. In one, Cage smashed a $3,000 vase that shattered near Riley's feet. When they divorced, Cage paid $1.3 million in legal costs and temporary alimony. Then he disappeared without saying goodbye. Lisa Marie donated all his expensive gifts to charity. Riley said it taught her one thing about love in Hollywood: it never lasts. On the Call Her Daddy podcast in January 2025, Riley shared a secret she had never told anyone. At age 15 or 16, she had been arrested for breaking into a house. She thought it was a party, but the house was empty and up for sale. Police showed up. Most teens ran, but Riley got caught. 10 kids were arrested. Her mom was in Las Vegas, so Riley had to call from jail. Lisa Marie was furious. Riley missed her birthday that year and was grounded for 3 months. The story never made it to the press, and Riley said she never even saw her mugshot. By age 14, Riley had entered the fashion world. She got huge contracts from brands like Dolce & Gabbana, Tommy Hilfiger, and David Yurman. Before she turned 15, she signed a 3-year deal with Miss Dior Cherie. She walked the runway for Dolce & Gabbana in 2004 and for Dior in 2005. By August 2004, her face was on the cover of American Vogue. In 2005, she was on 4 major magazine covers from Japan, Korea, France, and L'Officiel. But while her modeling career took off, she fell into a dangerous, rebellious phase. She snuck out. She got arrested. She said this was the most unstable time of her life. Even though she had stayed at Neverland, Riley said she never knew about the allegations against Michael Jackson. She said nobody ever told her. Her parents never argued in front of the kids. She only learned about the accusations much later. She said her parents truly loved each other back then. Lisa Marie once wrote in her journal, if she had ever seen anything wrong with Michael, she would have killed him herself. In 2008, Lisa Marie gave birth to twins after a C-section. That's when her addiction came back stronger than ever. She started with pain pills, then used them just to sleep, then couldn't stop. Riley wrote later that her mother took 80 pills a day. Lisa Marie had been clean for years. She didn't even take Tylenol. Now, Riley watched her spiral. Lisa Marie wrote that she just wanted to check out of life. It hurt too much to be sober. She went to rehab, then relapsed, then had a seizure. Eventually, she got clean. But Riley never felt she was truly ready for sobriety. Riley tried to stay in school, but her family life made it impossible. By age 17, she dropped out and switched to homeschooling. She had wanted to quit at 14 so she could model full-time and make her own money. She said the chaos at home never stopped. In 2006, her mom married Michael Lockwood. Then came another divorce. More lawyers. More battles. Riley had to grow up fast. She made home movies as a kid and always had a serious mindset about acting. She helped her mom write her memoir before Lisa Marie died in January 2023. Riley's first runway appearance came in February 2004 during Milan Fashion Week. She was only 14, not 15 like most articles said. The designers said she had her mother's beauty and her grandfather Elvis's attitude. She said it felt sweet, but also really cringe when she saw those photos later. Some people said her whole career was just because of her name. That criticism followed her everywhere. That same year, she signed with IMG Models. She appeared on Vogue with Lisa Marie and Priscilla Presley. 3 generations of women in one photo. But behind the photos, Riley battled body image issues. She felt pressure to stay thin, compete with real supermodels, and deal with cruel comments. One tabloid joked she wouldn't be eating Elvis's favorite peanut butter and banana sandwiches. That kind of mockery made her step away from modeling to focus on her mental health. By 2005, Riley had her first big paychecks from Dior and David Yurman. Her Dior photos showed her in elegant dresses. The jewelry ads showed her beauty in close-up. These campaigns gave her real money for the first time. She was 16 and already financially independent. She admitted her Presley name opened doors that other girls never got. She made 6 figures, but she also felt guilty, knowing other talented girls couldn't get the same breaks. In 2006, paparazzi caught her at wild parties. She was 17. The pictures caused a scandal. Rumors of drug use filled the tabloids. Headlines asked if Elvis's granddaughter was spiraling. She had already been arrested for breaking in during a party, but that story had stayed secret. Now the photos were everywhere. Luxury brands backed away. Riley said it was a wake-up call. She realized she had to walk away from modeling. In 2007, Riley started acting classes. She wanted to be taken seriously, not just seen as a Nepo baby. Casting directors doubted her. They thought she was just another rich girl. Her teachers said she worked harder than anyone else in class. Her mom gave her tough advice. Lisa Marie said if she wasn't great at acting, it would be embarrassing. Riley said she had to be better than everyone else, or no one would give her a chance. That pressure shaped her entire career. Riley Keough was only 20 when she stepped into her first movie role in 2010. She played Marie Curie in The Runaways, the real-life twin sister of Cherie Currie, the lead singer of the all-girl rock band from the 1970s. The movie premiered at Sundance and stirred controversy instantly. People didn't know what to make of Elvis Presley's granddaughter diving into a world filled with drug abuse, exploitation, and emotional breakdowns. What made it even more uncomfortable was how closely the story mirrored her own family's dark past with addiction. Riley had to learn guitar just to play the part. Her character stood as the emotional wall, forcing her sister to choose between fame and survival. The next year, in 2011, Riley took a much darker turn in The Good Doctor alongside Orlando Bloom. She played Diane Nixon, an 18-year-old patient who slowly becomes a pawn in a narcissistic doctor's twisted plan. Bloom's character messes with her medication, keeps her sick on purpose, and eventually causes her death. Riley was just 22, and she was portraying a teenager being manipulated and drugged by an older man. One of the film's strangest moments involved her character writing sexual fantasies about the doctor in her diary, which becomes part of the storyline after she dies. Critics said the chemistry between Riley and Bloom was disturbingly convincing. In 2012, she joined Magic Mike and played Nora, a pink-haired stripper. This was one of the most shocking roles of her early career. She was only 22, and audiences couldn't believe Elvis's granddaughter was in a movie filled with half-naked dancers. The cast, including Channing Tatum, visited real strip clubs for research. The movie made $168 million on just a $7 million budget. Riley's role was bold, unapologetic, and very different from what people expected from someone in the Presley family. That same year, she took on a supernatural lesbian love story in Jack and Diane. It was one of the most chaotic productions of 2012. She replaced another actress in 2010, but filming was delayed because of her busy schedule. The plot was strange. Every time her character felt sexual desire, she would hallucinate that she was turning into a werewolf. Riley shared intense scenes with Juno Temple, and some critics found the whole thing awkward and confusing. The werewolf scenes didn't blend well with the emotional storyline, but they made the film unforgettable. In 2013, Riley starred in Kiss of the Damned, a vampire film that leaned more into erotica than horror. She appeared nude in several scenes, and tabloids went wild. This wasn't just a vampire story, it was seductive and intense, directed by Alexandra Cassavetes. The movie showed the granddaughter of Elvis Presley wrapped up in vampire passion, and people weren't sure how to react. At 23, she was fully stepping into adult roles, and she didn't hold back. Her big breakthrough came in 2015 with Mad Max: Fury Road. Riley played Capable, one of the women escaping captivity in a dystopian desert. The shoot lasted 120 days in Namibia, and she performed many of her own stunts. It was brutal. Temperatures went past 120 degrees. Sandstorms blew through the set, and the actors wore gas masks at times. Riley injured her ankle during one chase, but kept filming. That movie changed her life. She met stuntman Ben Smith Peterson, and they got married in 2015. In 2016, she starred in American Honey as Crystal, a harsh and manipulative magazine crew manager. The film used real people instead of actors and had a raw, unpredictable style. Riley, coming from a famous and wealthy background, had to fully transform into someone who lived in poverty. The performance earned her a nomination for Best Supporting Female at the Independent Spirit Awards. In 2017, she appeared in It Comes at Night, a haunting film about family and survival. What made it even heavier was that Riley was filming while her mother, Lisa Marie Presley, was battling addiction. The story of isolation and helplessness felt too real for her. The director, who had lost his own father, created a space where Riley could pour her real emotions into the character. She later said the film mirrored how powerless she felt watching her mother struggle. That same year, she worked on Logan Lucky, playing a getaway driver in a heist movie. But the behind-the-scenes pressure was intense. Paparazzi followed her, trying to get reactions about her mother's public breakdowns and financial problems. She eventually stopped using social media and avoided public events. Filming became her safe space. One of her boldest moves came with the Girlfriend experience in 2016. Riley played Christine Reed, a law student who secretly worked as a high-end escort. The series included intense emotional and intimate scenes, and Riley filmed them daily with different actors. It was exhausting. She did research by speaking to real sex workers and said the role terrified her. But it paid off. She earned a Golden Globe nomination, proving she could lead a series on her own. In 2018, she appeared in The House That Jack Built, one of the most disturbing films of that year. Directed by Lars von Trier, the movie caused over 100 walkouts at the Cannes Film Festival. Riley played one of the victims of a serial killer, and promotional posters didn't even list her character's name. They just called her an incident. The film's violence shocked critics, and Riley skipped the premiere, citing scheduling issues. Her role in The Lodge pushed her deeper into psychological horror. Filming began in March 2018, and Riley played a cult survivor trapped in a cabin with her fiancé's kids. She isolated herself during production to better connect with her character's mental breakdown. Critics were impressed by how deeply she sank into the role, portraying someone caught between trauma and terror. In 2021, she starred in Zola, a movie based on a viral Twitter thread about a wild strip club trip gone wrong. Riley played Stephanie, a manipulative dancer who tricks her friend into prostitution. The scenes were intense, the story was wild, and Riley's performance was sharp and darkly funny. The film received 7 nominations at the Independent Spirit Awards. Then came her biggest test. In Daisy Jones and the Six, released in 2023, Riley had to become a rock star. She trained in vocals and guitar for 6 months. The show cost Amazon Prime $200 million and became one of its most watched debuts. Riley's performance felt so real that fans thought she was lip-syncing. She wasn't. She sang every note. The role earned her an Emmy nomination and silenced critics who called her a Nepo baby. But the backlash had been brutal. When her casting was announced, she got 50,000 angry comments in a single day. People accused her of using her Presley name to land roles. For the first time, Riley publicly admitted she had privilege. She also revealed that producers had considered over 200 actresses before choosing her based on her audition alone. In 2022, Riley directed her first film, War Pony, and it won the Camera d'Or at Cannes. Even with her famous name, funding the film was hard. She and her co-director were rejected by 47 different financiers. She lived in a trailer without water for 6 months on South Dakota's Pine Ridge Reservation to understand the community. The film made just over $100,000, but it earned global praise. In 2024, Riley starred in Hulu's Under the Bridge, playing journalist Rebecca Godfrey. The story was about a 1997 teen murder case, but for Riley, it hit close to home. Her younger brother Benjamin had died by suicide in 2020, and diving into the story helped her process that grief. She read thousands of pages of court records and police reports, determined to honor the truth. The show became one of Hulu's top crime series, and Riley's performance was called haunting and deeply personal. Riley Keough first met Ben Smith Peterson in 2012 while filming Mad Max: Fury Road in Namibia. She was one of the wives of Immortan Joe, and he was just a stuntman. They didn't fall in love right away. That didn't happen until a year later in 2013 during the reshoots in Australia. Things moved quickly after that. They got engaged in 2014 and married on February 4, 2015. In Napa, California. But just as their married life began, Riley's family troubles started to get worse. Her brother Benjamin was battling depression and alcohol addiction. Ben stood by her through all of it. Years later, when Riley couldn't speak at her mother's funeral in January 2023, Ben stepped in and read the tribute she had written. In August 2022, Riley and Ben had a daughter named Tupelo Storm Smith Peterson. They chose surrogacy because Riley was struggling with Lyme disease and autoimmune problems. She said she could carry children, but didn't want to risk it. They kept the baby's birth a secret for months, only revealing it at Lisa Marie's funeral. Then, in 2025, another surprise came out. They had welcomed a second child, but no one knew until Priscilla Presley accidentally mentioned it in an interview in September. She said, "I love her babies. I'm really happy for Riley. She's got an amazing husband and 2 great children." But things hadn't always been smooth in Riley's love life. Before Ben, there was a whirlwind relationship with actor Alex Pettyfer. They met on the set of Magic Mike in 2011, and within months, paparazzi caught them kissing. By early 2012, she was wearing a greenish emerald ring. Everyone thought a wedding was coming. But rumors of Alex cheating led to a painful breakup. Riley later said that period felt like a wild, confusing time in her early 20s. She had to learn from it the hard way. The real heartbreak came in July 2020, when Riley's brother Benjamin Keough died by suicide at age 27. In her mother, Lisa Marie's memoir, Riley left in one of the most disturbing details. Lisa Marie had kept Benjamin's body on dry ice in a casita next to their home for 2 months before burying him. She said there was no law forcing a quick burial and admitted she had done the same when Elvis died. Riley had thought about removing that part from the book, but kept it in. She said her mother would not have cared if people were shocked. Benjamin was eventually buried at Graceland, right next to Elvis. In 2023, Lisa Marie joined them. Then in 2023, Riley's life changed forever. Her mother, Lisa Marie, died on January 12th at just 54. Riley became the sole trustee of the Elvis estate, a $100 million responsibility. A 2016 amendment in Lisa Marie's will named Riley alone. But Priscilla Presley challenged it in court, claiming Lisa's signature looked off and that it wasn't properly notarized. The court battle that followed was ugly. Private letters were shown in court where Riley told her grandmother that she had once protected her from Lisa Marie's threats to sue. Priscilla didn't back down. She tried to remove Riley from overseeing the estate, especially Elvis Presley Enterprises, which was worth $100 million. The family feud spilled into the public, and suddenly the king's legacy was being fought over by his own blood. In May 2023, the two women reached a settlement, but it came at a steep cost. Riley had to pay Priscilla $1.4 million up front, plus $400,000 every year just to keep peace. She had to keep Graceland open to the public for at least 50 years. If she failed, the penalty could be more than $50 million. Riley also had to spend over $2 million per year to preserve the estate, exactly as Elvis left it. She admitted the whole thing had drained her emotionally. She had missed out on 3 film roles and lost over $5 million in income during the fight. The settlement gave her control, but it didn't feel like a win. It felt like survival. Then, in May 2024, another threat came. A company called Nausani Investments claimed Lisa Marie owed them $3.8 million and tried to auction off Graceland. They had forged documents and even faked a deed of trust using Lisa Marie's name. But Riley didn't stay silent. She filed for an emergency injunction and exposed the scam. A judge called the documents fake and stopped the auction immediately. If she hadn't acted fast, Elvis's home could have been sold for a fraction of its real value. Publicly, Priscilla told everyone in 2025 that she and Riley were close, but private court documents told a different story. Riley had spent over $1 million just defending herself from her grandmother's lawsuit. In one letter, Riley reminded her that she had once protected her from Lisa Marie's anger and lawsuits. Riley felt heartbroken and betrayed that after all that, Priscilla still went to court against her. Lisa Marie had once accused Priscilla of taking more than $2 million from the estate between 1993 and 2005. Riley had kept quiet about all of it, and now she had to pay the price. In 2025, Riley opened up in ways she never had before. On the Call Her Daddy podcast, she revealed that she had been arrested at age 15 or 16. She thought she was going to a friend's party, but it turned out to be a house for sale. Police arrested 10 people, and Riley had to call Lisa Marie from jail. Her mom was furious and grounded her for 3 months. Riley never saw her own mugshot, and the story never made the news. She said she had never told anyone until now. She also said that living at Neverland Ranch between ages 5 and 7, she had no idea about the abuse allegations against her stepfather, Michael Jackson. The first claims had come out in 1993, a year before he married Lisa Marie. But Riley said no one told her anything. To her, Neverland felt like her real home. She even said she spent more time there than at Graceland. In October 2024, Riley admitted something else. She said being Elvis's granddaughter definitely gave her a boost in her career. She called herself a Nepo baby and said it helped her get agents and meetings. But she also said her mom warned her early on that if she didn't take her work seriously, people would only see her as an embarrassing celebrity kid. She said that message stuck with both her and Benjamin. After Lisa Marie died in 2023, Riley felt like she had one job left to do. Her mother had started a memoir called From Here to the Great Unknown, and Riley promised to finish it. She lay in bed for months listening to old audio recordings of Lisa Marie talking about Elvis's death her addiction, and the grief of losing Benjamin. The memoir was published on October 8, 2024, and became a bestseller with more than 92,000 ratings on Goodreads. Julia Roberts read Lisa Marie's parts for the audiobook. Riley read her own. She said she believed her mom never really recovered from Benjamin's death.